Pittsburgh, obviously in the playoffs in the past. Just what's your thoughts on facing them again?
I mean, that's what happens when you make the playoffs. You tend to see the same teams from your division for making it year after year. So obviously they've been in it pretty much every single year since I've been a pro and been in New York. So every team looks a little bit different every single year. But I think there are still some things that they like to do that are similar to things that they did successfully in years past.
Chris, we wondered about the young guys who've never played in a playoff game before, how they're going to react. But it's been a while for you as well. I don't know if you count the 2020 bubble thing, but what are your emotions like now to get back there and it's tomorrow?
It's a lot of fun. It's exciting. This is what you played too for. It's got an opportunity to play in playoffs, playing these rounds, playing these games. So. We played a specific way and tried to play a specific way over the last 82 games, and that shouldn't change for us now.
I'm asking this as a guy who's around the net a lot, net front, whatnot. Goalies today have gotten bigger, right? I mean, they keep getting taller or whatnot. Casey DeSmith is not one of those guys. Does that make a difference?
I don't think that a goalie at the NHL level, regardless of whether or not they're tall, short, whatever, they play whatever style that has allowed them to have success. So I think any goalie is going to have a little bit more trouble if there's traffic. I think every single team is going to tell you that they want to get traffic in front of a good goalie, especially at when it comes to the playoffs. Goalies are too good now, regardless of their size, what hand they are. I mean, you need to have guys passing through their eye line or guys trying to get to the blue paint. So I don't think it makes a difference whether or not a goalie's listed under 6 foot or practically 7 foot. You need to get bodies there.
Do you sense a different vibe from this group than the one from your teams that made annual runs? Is there a difference in anticipation, do you think, in what guys might be expecting or not expecting?
It's hard to say because it feels like a long time ago now, and I was in a different position, being a kind of a young guy on that team and just worried about not stepping on eggshells. But I think regardless of whether or not a team has been to the playoffs multiple years in a row, is a veteran, is young, there's always excitement this time of year. There's always butterflies, and guys are just they're excited to come to the rink, they're excited to compete and play.
Chris, you've experienced the Garden during the playoffs, and the fans now have an opportunity for the first time in 5 years to root as hard as they can again. What is your experience with the Garden, and what does it mean to play off hockey for you guys?
I think just the energy in the building, the support that we have, and the noise is hard to put into words. There really isn't a better place to play playoff hockey, especially as a home team. It certainly adds to it, and that's the entire experience. And I've said it a few times. It's a lot of fun.
Through the course of your career, you haven't had a power play often that matches what the Penguins can do on the power play. You do now; it might even be better than theirs. How much of a factor is that?
I think going into every series, you look at what the other team's trying to do on there, killing their power play, and you just tried to add value. It's always going to be more difficult to score power play goals in the playoffs. Ice gets a little chopped up a little quicker, buildings get a little warmer, teams seem to pressure that much harder, and vice versa. So it's just about, I think, keeping it simple and adding value. But obviously there's some things that a lot of us have some success this year that we have to lean on over the course of the series. At the same time, it's got to be 5-on-5. Our kill's got to be good. Pittsburgh's obviously a very, very good team, has been for a very long time. So we have to be detailed.
Over your career, obviously, now you're one of the best forward around the net in the league. Did you, during practices, change the way you did your practice? You're spending a lot of times now tipping pucks, and did you change the way you decided to play the game a little bit through your career to be one of the best players around the net?
I think it's just something that we've worked on a lot for a long time. Something that we work on every day. You see every single drill, it always ends at the net. That's just, I think, something that's been emphasized. It's something that's really important for the entire roster to do over the course of this series and beyond that. I mean, we've focused on that over the course of the regular season, every practice, every game, trying to get on the inside, trying to get pucks and bodies to the net. It's a team that's capable of scoring a lot of pretty goals, but for us to have success, it's constantly getting on the inside and getting pucks and bodies to the net.
Any player to help you understanding that part of the game in the NHL?
Yeah, there's a long list of players and a long list of
Yeah.
coaches. I don't think of single players at Island, especially as you go on in your career, you play with so many different guys, cross paths with so many guys who have so many things that you can take away from. And I've been really, really lucky to play with a lot of unbelievable players, so just try to pick their brains as much as I can.
Thank you.
Casey DeSmith, Chris, was not their #1 guy all year, but he's gonna be in the net for game 1. What does that do in terms of a pre-scout for the Penguins for you guys now that
I think the focus was always going to be like I just said, trying to get pucks and bodies to the net and trying to get on the inside. That's going to give us success. There are definitely moments where we like to snap it around the perimeter and make some pretty plays, but for us to make it hard on them, it's getting pucks and bodies to the net. I'm sure they're saying the same thing, regardless of who's in it.
Chris, when we ask Turek about Pittsburgh, he always brings it back to, it's not about the opponent, it's about our team. He's been really consistent with that all season. I'm curious what you think that does for the group to have that messaging all season long.
And I think it's incredibly important. I think it's the only way that you can have sustained success is worrying about your own game and your own process and trying to put your best foot forward as a team, as a player.